Good evening, everybody. My name's Tarali.
And I'm Rumzarum.
And this is the Midnight Run. And we are in Ulduar, in the scenario that Bran Bronzebeard brought for us. And now we're fighting some horrors or something. We're picking up right where the last episode left off, minus maybe a dialogue box or so. And stage 2 says defeat the invaders. So that's what we're doing for this currently.
They're on top of me. They just won't stop attacking me.
Where are you?
I'm right next to you.
You're actually not, I don't think.
Oh, son.
So it looks like this...
I'm gonna die.
Yeah, it looks like you did die. It looks like this instance is solo. It's not combined. Which is a bit of a problem. So Rumsey's gonna have a little bit of an issue because she's...
Squishy.
Yeah.
And...
Just kill that guy.
I'm not used to my new buttons.
Yeah, okay. Might be the old gods. Indeed, I suggest we pick up the pace. Okay, so we're trying to rush through here. Stop the
And of course, my
interlopers.
buttons don't work on him.
Bring down the barrier. Speak to Khadgar to bring down the barrier. Okay, simple enough.
There is much to be done.
So that's something that we've noticed is that there's a lot of kind of like, solo content mixed in the sense that we're in this together, like we came in here at the same time, but we're not part of the same group, which could be problematic for some of the squishier targets like Rummy. But they are kind of teaching people to play to that. Like, they know that you're squishy, but they're not going to make it so difficult that you're not going to be able to do it. They just want you to think creatively on like how would your class and your spec do this, which is a lot about what your artifact weapon quest will be about as well. Is they're going to gear that, they're going to tune that encounter for your spec. So find out what makes your spec unique and use that to your advantage. So I know you have questions. Let's see. The ritual that changed my body also opened my ears to a voice of Azeroth herself. She ain't just a hunk of rock, she's a titan. So Azeroth herself is a titan? That is strange.
For me, I have these little spinny things on the ground, that have long
Mine had
spikes
those
coming
too.
out of them. If you have lag or not the greatest, what's the word I'm looking for? Just,
If you have bad latency or
yeah,
like poor response times,
that might be hard to see, so just prepare yourself for that.
yeah, it's a little, it spins around and it does some damage to you if it hits you, kind of thing. It's pretty bad. So final stage, listen to the information Magni Bronzebeard wants to share with you. Remember this place, Bron? It's like we used to come here when we were kids. We played hide and seek, but it's an empty room, so it's kind of hard. We just always found each other. I don't know what happened. So yeah. And so he's getting flashbacks of Algalon, which those of you who have done the Ulduar raid will know what he's talking about. Consulate was just trying to do his job.
That which grants you free will, that allows you to persevere against all cosmically calculated odds.
And then he does his spiel again.
Fail where the Titan's own perfect creations have failed.
After defeating the old gods, the Keepers were given the task of ordering the world. The Titans gave them 5 mighty artifacts, the Pillars of Creation. When their work was done, the Keepers sealed the pillars away, but like so many relics, they ended up in the hands of mortals. Your tale sounds familiar. I'm sure I've heard of these pillars before. Aye, Khadgar, the knowledge was placed in the care of the guardians of Tirisfal, and remains there still. Karazhan, of course. I likely read of these artifacts in one of Medivh's ancient chronicles. You must find the pillars. Combine their power, can seal the Legion's gateway to Azeroth. 'Tis the only way to save her. It's not every day a planet points me to my own library. Thank you, Magni. I will go to Karazhan at once. Axerin, follow me through the portal when you are done here. So we're done here. We take his portal to Karazhan. Okay, this is basically the foundation of the entire storyline, or at least the major part of the storyline in Legion, from what we played at the beta. The Pillars of Creation are something that you're going to have to go and get. They've developed a new technology for the zones, which allows them to scale with you. So it doesn't matter which zone you go to first, you'll be able to do... It'll be about your level. So it'll be challenging, but it won't be impossible. And it won't be a cakewalk either. You're not going to just be able to run through there and not, get killed by a bunch of things. So you're going to have to kind of be careful and do it right, which makes it interesting because now you can choose your own kind of adventure, at least in the sense of which one do I want to do first. But all of them must be completed in order to progress the storyline of Azeroth in general. So it's a different way of thinking about how the leveling is going to be now. It used to be, I just got to get to the highest level and then I'll start doing stuff. Well, now it's going to be, I need to complete all these quests, which will eventually get me to the highest level. But even if I level all the way to the highest level, I still have to finish out the zones. So I really like that. It keeps the engagement.
It's definitely a massive game changer.
Yeah. I think it's an improvement.
I mean, just looking back at all the farming we did, after you get to level 100, you go into the special areas, and every expansion had one. It's not going to be like that anymore. I mean, I'm sure once you finish all the quests, there'll be something of comparison, but not until you complete those quests.
Yeah. So I feel like that there's multiple aspects to the leveling process now. There's getting to level 110, which is, that's always going to be, part of your priority. But in addition to that, now there's also... Okay, so I have no idea where to find the tome discussing the Pillars of Creation, but getting there may present some challenges. Interesting. So we got to follow Khadgar in here. Meet with Khadgar. We have much to do and little time to do it. When you are ready, we'll begin. We'll talk to him and tell him, let's go.
Well, I'm not even in yet.
Well, I know, but I feel like this is another solo thing.
Well,
I don't know.
If it wasn't,
yeah,
it is now.
We'll see. She's loading in, apparently.
So,
hopefully.
Maybe. We'll see.
I remember the day I arrived, so young and nervous. Sent my Karablar some blinders. Other students have found them quite helpful when ignoring these distracting visions. No thank you. If I may ask, what became of the other students? I was not the first sent to study under Medivh. I was, however, the only one accepted as his apprentice. So it seems our young spy has arrived at last. It's a vision of Medivh, yeah.
Okay.
I think Rumsey Rum might be frozen. Yeah, you're offline now.
I was gonna say, I'm a little worried because I don't even have a loading bar.
Yeah, you got kicked from the server. So log back in when you can. So, that's something that they're probably going to have to work out a little bit. I'm sure the server's super overloaded right now, which is why this is happening. But we'll just soldier on. She can either catch up with us or...
Well, and also keep this in mind. This is basically the middle of the night, Pacific time. So imagine what it's going to be like at, I don't know, say 5 in the afternoon Pacific time when everybody's on. Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be super... Oh, the sentry, look out. I don't know why I'm... Oh, there he is. Okay, so... Basically, I have to protect Khadgar while he gets into this place. Which is pretty interesting. Now, going back to what I was saying about, like, leveling in the sense of I'm going to have... get to 110, I'm going to have to finish all the Pillars of Creation quests. I'm also going to have to be... To be the most effective paladin I can be, I'm going to need to level my artifact weapon all the way up, which is going to be a daunting task. It's going to take a lot longer than just leveling. Okay, so he creates a barrier that prevents those guys from getting in. That won't hold them long. We must get to the library. Okay. Sargeras knows where the location of the pillars. I'll need... Oh, okay. Stand here. I'm going to click on that. Okay, so he needs our help. Let's give these runes a try. Okay, Rumsey's back in, but she is in a separate thing than us. Read from the Guardian's Arcanum to escape to the library. So we're following him still. He knows what's up. There's a wall of purpleness.
Why am I so
The
super
wards.
laggy?
More sentries are coming after us. Fortunately, I always help keep a few tricks up my sleeve. The book holds a spell that will take you to the library. Get going. Okay, so there's a book here. We lose it. We go. Oh, nice. Alright, it's going to take me down to the library through this little wispy magic thing. There's the theater where the, you know, Big Bad Wolf and Romeo and Juliet and like all that kind of stuff. Alright.
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, Wizard of Oz. So, when we heard that they were redoing Karazhan as a 5-man dungeon and that it was coming in patch 7.1, we were really excited because we just did like a little transmog run of Karazhan the other day, which is already up on the channel. And, you know, we liked, you know, we had a lot of fun doing it, and it's a fun instance. It always has been. So seeing it, or a fun raid. So seeing it now being a 5-man is going to be even better, and we're going to be able to come in here and supposedly the same 9 bosses are going to be. Okay, so you have to subdue the guardians before my calibration can take effect. No need to be gentle.
Look out!
Okay, that one's subdued. And there's another one.
And these guys can run super fast if you're really far from them. These little sentries.
Alright, now let's see. 3 runes. Oh, there's a big guy.
Ooh, that's how I was coming at.
Yeah, he puts up a barrier. Which is good, because I don't think any of us could fight that many guys that are down in that hall. So yeah, Rummy's progressing right along. Doesn't seem to be too much of an issue for her. Alright, I'm on stage 9 now. Assist Khadgar by stunning the protectors. Reactivate the sentries once I finish their adjustments. I'll reinforce the door and send the guardians against the Legion. That will buy us time to find what we're after. Okay, so we're going to use these guys to go after the Legion while we look for the book that talks about the Illidari. Or the Pillars of Creation, I should say. Okay, protection mode, that's the other one. Whoa. And one more. There we go. Okay, stage 10, knowledge is key. Find the tome containing the information about the Pillars of Creation. So now I need to find it. Where do I do that? How do I do that? What did it say? I really had enough of that demon. The knowledge of the pillars is here. We must find that tome. So then he's doing something. What is he doing?
Hail and well met.
Oh, he's summoning things to look for this, to look for the tome. There's a little wisp. Come on, find it. Oh, I got something. There it is. Listen to Khadgar's instructions regarding the tome.
Knowledge is power.
Take the tome, Axron. The information it holds is vital. I have the tome. Do I need to read the tome? We have what we came for, but I'd be remiss if I didn't try to bolster Karazhan's defenses before I leave. I owe that much to Medivh. The good man he once was, not the pawn of Sargeras he became. Get that book into Madara's hands in Dalaran. I'll join you soon, and thank you. Alright, so now we portal back to Dalaran. So it's still over Deadwind Pass. We're still on the Violet Hold, which is great. And then I'll go over here and I will talk to this guy.
Greetings.
Or this lady, I think. Archmaid Madara. Do you have something for me? Yep, here you go. Hiding in the sty. Not long after you left, the first wave of demons struck. We're holding them at bay for now. I'll keep this tome safe until we have a chance to study it. Good work in there. I should like to delve into the libraries of Karazhan myself one day. At least I think I would. And then I actually get a piece of armor that is better than what I am currently wearing, so I'll put it on. Because why not? The trinket is also way better than one of my trinkets, so I'll put that on. Okay, defeat. Okay, so that's basically it as far as that quest line goes. I didn't get a new quest from her. There is a bunch of demons outside, which they're like level 100 plus. The guards are taking care of them a lot for the most part. Our only other quest now is to protect the home front, which is defeat a Legion invasion, but that's not really super important right now. Let me check in on Rummy. She's doing okay. Yeah, she's almost done with this. So it didn't take her too much longer, though it does look to be she took a little bit more damage than I did, obviously, because she's DPS and I'm tank. So that is what it is. But as you can see, the Legion starts off with a pretty big bang. I mean, Warlords of Draenor started off with you going through the portal after it got changed, and then you getting kind of stuck there. And that had a certain feel to it. It was a very kind of like run through and fight some guys and kind of introduce you. We're on a strange world, let's set up the garrison. But once you got to the part where you set up the garrison, you were really kind of like stuck until you set it up fully, or at least somewhat, and got ready to go out and meet the world. In this, the comparison is almost, the contrast is pretty jarring, because you immediately go to Orgrimmar. They immediately send you to an island that you didn't know existed, or at least that was, hidden from you. And you fight your way through the Legion, only to basically get defeated and sent back to where you came from, with your leadership structure pretty much destroyed. And then after that, with the new war chief stepping up, then you have to immediately go to Dalaran, which has moved itself from where it was in Northrend into Deadwind Pass. And then you immediately go from there, which Jaina Proudmoore, another leadership, part of the leadership structure, at least for the Alliance, she walks out on you, basically says like, no, if they're there, I'm not here, and you won't have my power. And she leaves, and I don't know what happens to her. Maybe we'll find out on the Alliance side, but I don't know what happens to her. So immediately that adds more tension. Then you immediately go from there to Ulduar, and then from Ulduar you go to Karazhan, and then from Karazhan back to here, and the city's now being bombarded by the Legion. So it's very fast-paced. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of gears in motion, which is really...
simultaneously.
Yeah, everything's kind of up in the air now. So you don't know what's going to happen next. Like, I've played the beta, so I have a little bit of an idea, and I'm not going to spoil it, though I'm sure you've already seen some of it. That's fine. But it's so much different than the way Warlords of Draenor started that you can't help but be excited for what's going to happen next, for what the next step is. And I think that's something that Warlords of Draenor kind of lacked, in the sense that you got your garrison, and that was kind of cool, but there was no, there was no thirst for, let's go find out what's going to happen next. Let's go see what's next. Because the story in Warlords of Draenor was already, set. You were in the past, and you couldn't really mess up the past by breaking the story down all over the place, because it would potentially wreck the future. So basically, you went back to just prevent the past from getting messed up, but they kind of said that it was a parallel thing, so it really didn't matter what you were really doing there anyway, other than trying to stop Hellscream and Gul'dan and stuff like that. And then we didn't even stop Gul'dan at the end, which is like a running theme with WoW. It kind of carries between expansions, which is kind of neat in a sense, because now we get an expansion that's completely focused on the Legion and Gul'dan, and we get the Demon Hunters, which I'm definitely going to be playing probably more heavily than the Paladin, if I had to guess. Maybe about equal, but I really like the way the Demon Hunters play, so... As you can tell, I'm super excited about what's coming out and the next steps in the story, and I'm super excited to show it all to you guys. And I know Rumsey is too. She just doesn't talk as much as I do.
Sorry, I was doing a facial mask. Not easy to talk with those on.
Well, I think that about does it for this episode, and we're going to keep this series going, obviously, because Legion's coming out in a few weeks, and we want to show you as much of it as we possibly can. where we're going to be doing a lot more gameplay videos than we have been. There's still probably going to be a few more spotlight videos for talent specs and that sort of thing that are coming in the next couple weeks as well. And maybe even a few more transmog raid runs. We'll see. Depends on how much we have time for and that sort of thing. But make sure you hit the like button, subscribe for more content in the future as always, and we welcome your comments. Gotten some pretty good comments about the raid stuff that we've done and some of the other gameplay stuff that we've shown off. And we just want to keep that going. We want to keep it going, build a community around what we're trying to do here in World of Warcraft. And, you know, if you want to check out some of the other games that we do on the channel, that's going to be, you know, those are kind of going to take a back seat once Legion comes out fully, but they will start picking up again once we've gotten through the initial burst of Legion videos that we're going to be doing. And there'll be a wide variety of things that will show up, from indie games to AAA titles to more World of Warcraft. Alright, I've been Tirali.
And I'm Rumsey Rum.
And this has been the Midnight Run, and we will catch you guys next time.
Night.